Now that's what a good piece of brisket's supposed to look like.
Hey everybody, so the purpose of this video this morning is to give you a short explanation and set the proper expectation for how I plan on testing and what I plan on looking for as I test half-ton trucks. A lot can be said for the differences between the 3/4 ton, 1 ton, and 1 ton dually trucks available by the three big manufacturers. But there's so many different trim packages, body configurations, and options available on half-ton trucks, it's very difficult to go into it being completely open-minded on the types of trucks you're going to be testing, simply because there's a likelihood that you could end up with two very different trucks, even though they're competing against each other head-to-head. Now, the configuration that I'm going to be looking for in all these trucks is a crew cab max tow package. So what I mean by that is I'm specifically looking for a 4-door truck in the largest cab configuration they have, so not extended cab, with the highest power package that they have available, as well as 4-wheel drive equipped trucks. So I'm not going to compare a 2-wheel drive versus a 4-wheel drive truck. Also, I'm going to look for the longest wheelbase option available by all the trucks as well, because with some of these trucks you can actually get a longer bed on a crew cab versus a shorter bed. And I want to be sure that all the trucks at least have that specific package or the closest thing to that package available when I do the testing. From a price perspective, because the Toyota Tundra Crewmax 1794 edition that I tested had a maximum MSRP of roughly $53,000, I want to keep the maximum MSRP of all the trucks under $55,000. So I may have to go slightly over that or slightly below that to find the truck to configure it properly, but that's essentially where I want to try to keep the price point. In Ford, that will get me generally a fairly well-equipped Lariat model. With GMC, it should get me an SLT model. With Chevrolet, I should be able to get an LTZ. With Ram, I should be able to get a Laramie or even a Laramie Longhorn package. And with Nissan, I can probably get into a Platinum Reserve or maybe model right below that, which I'd have to find out what specific model that is. Again, all in crew cab, 4-wheel drive, biggest or most powerful engine option they have available, and the maximum tow package that I can get on that particular truck. Some of the characteristics I'm going to be looking for specifically during my reviews are fit and finish of both interior and exterior components, as well as axles, frames. I want to find out certain things related to how robust certain components are, likelihood for exterior damage, let's say the steel bodies of all the trucks versus the aluminum bodies of the Ford, as well as throttle response, fuel economy, and ride and comfort. Something that I'm also going to do that's a little bit different than probably any other reviews is I'm going to compare them to the diesels that I've tested and the equivalent diesel truck from that same manufacturer. So for instance, when I do an F-150, I'm going to give you an idea of how it feels, how I personally feel driving that truck versus a 3/4 ton or 1 ton diesel truck that I'm used to driving. Because there's a lot of folks out there who wonder if they should switch from a diesel truck, which they think they may not need, to a half-ton truck, which they think might be more suitable for them. And I know a lot of what goes into buying a vehicle comes down to emotion and personal preference. So I want to give you my honest feeling on if I would personally be satisfied driving a gas-powered half-ton truck or even the diesel-equipped half-ton trucks. One of the wild card trucks that I'll probably include in this test is going to be the EcoDiesel from Ram. And it's a wild card simply because it's a less powerful truck, mainly from a horsepower perspective, but it's not necessarily designed to be the most tow-capable truck that they have. It was designed to provide a diesel with reasonable torque numbers, but at the same time, great fuel economy. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to review that evenly across the board with the other trucks. Who knows, it may actually score a few extra points just because of, ergonomics or how the truck was designed or how it feels. And one final category I'll throw in is bed utility. For instance, what they've done to the bed of the truck to make it more resourceful, to make it more usable. What I mean by that is if you look at like the Ram, you can get the Ram boxes on the truck. But I've also seen that Nissan now has a version of Ram boxes. I'm not sure what they call it, but it's more on the interior of the bed versus the exterior of the bed, as well as some of the rail and cargo management systems that you can get on these trucks, to the ramps that you can order through Ford to have on the back of your truck. There's all sorts of unique ways that these manufacturers now are offering accessories that give you more usefulness out of the bed of your truck. So I want to include those in the review as well. Now, to be clear and to set the proper expectation again, I've driven in most of these trucks. I've driven in a Chevy LTZ 1500, a GMC SLT 1500, a Ram Laramie Longhorn, a new F-150 Platinum, as well as a Toyota Tundra, and even tested the Tundra. I have not had any experience driving or riding in the new Titan, so I'm very excited to actually get a hold of that, as well as the Titan XD, because I think both of those trucks would make for good testing and a great comparison to see really what the difference is between the XD version as well as the standard version Titan. I do plan on doing some testing on the Chevy Colorado and the GMC Canyon, as well as the Toyota Tacoma. And I know the Tacoma, it's larger than it's been in the past, but it's still a smaller truck than both the Canyon and the Colorado. But I think for the sake of comparing and adding it in for folks who are looking for that slightly smaller truck, I'll do a review specifically comparing those trucks against each other when I'm done with my half-ton reviews. Anyways, I appreciate you for watching this video. I hope that you are looking forward to my half-ton reviews. Again, I'm going to do my reviews a little bit differently because I do want to express the differences between half-ton trucks and how they feel and how they drive and their capabilities versus 3/4 ton and 1-ton trucks, because a lot of people want to know. I hope you're ready for some really informative reviews, and if you are, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel and like my videos. Thanks, everyone.